Hey, good morning, and how are you guys doing today? I hope you're amazing. So, we're back revising on the final set of revisions before it goes to proofreading and stuff like that. On Echoes of the Cosmic Veil, we're on chapter number 20. Now, reality wise, we only have so many chapters, and so I think we have 27, 20. Yeah, no, there's actually going to be like 27 chapters. We might have 28 edit sessions or revision sessions, but reality, we're ripping through this. And so within the next week or so, well, week and one day, we will be absolutely all the way revised through this book. Then it will go to proofreading people that like actually make sure that there's not mistakes that I absolutely missed, which is going to be a bunch of them probably anyway, just so you guys know. I'm going to get chat up so I can see what's going on. Then we'll get right into reviewing through this. Yesterday, we were able to almost just read through it. I wasn't totally hating anything.
Oh no, I'm doing a Lego illegal build.
Obviously, I was watching crap junk TV again late last night, right? Well, it's not TV, it's junk videos, guys. Okay, I've got chat up. You guys are amazing, by the way, guys and girls. I'm not being mean. Let's make sure it's actually up, which is always the question. Donald, did you actually get chat up? Okay, it is 5 in the morning, so if I seem discombobulated, I legit am a little bit. I mean, like, we're good now. I've got coffee. I hope you have coffee. I also hope you're having a great start to your morning. Let's do this, right? So, in the last chapter, a company ship that was a group of traders arrived to basically take over the ship. They were going to ice Sam and everybody, liquidate them. And a shootout ensued on the bridge, on the command bridge, the command deck. And then hostile activities took place throughout the ship. So Sarah did die. Not a big deal. I mean, well, it is a big deal because, like, pretty good character. And in all honesty, in editing, after the editing people read it and stuff like that, they're going to probably want me to further develop it so there's more of an emotional impact when she gets blasted. But we'll deal with that in a little bit. So let's focus on this. Amelia seemed to have come up with a plan already. As I watched her gather up the weapons from the dead troops, and this is where we're going to troops. Okay, boom. Okay, Amelia seemed to have come up with a plan already I, as I watched her gather up. Excuse me, guys. Amelia seemed to have came up with a plan already. As I watched her gather up the weapons from the dead troops, she handed them out, marshaling the remaining crew and making sure everyone was armed. I think I want to break this somewhere. Okay. 1, 2. Mia asked, "What are we going to do?" They will have already sent out a message by now. We don't need the by now. We're going to make it into... Okay, what are we going to do? And we're going to leave that as a question, not as a... They will have already sent out a message. I don't think we need the message part. That doesn't even frickin' matter, right? What's real important here is when they detach from the ship, they will destroy us. That part is the relevant factor. Good morning, by the way. I believe that's the relevant factor. Okay. Amelia replied, I have locked them out of their ship's controls. They already sent off a message before I could shut things down. So now we'll have to deal with things as they are. We need to abort... Oh, man, I ran on sentenced from heck here. Okay. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to make this better and fix a lot. A lot could be fixed here. Okay. Okay, I have locked them out of their ship's controls. The problem is they had already sent a message before I shut things down. Okay, period. Okay, we're just going to get rid of the right now crap all the way. I think it's going to read better anyway. I don't know why I was wanting to have right now in there. Okay, the problem is they already sent a message, off a message. They already sent off a message. They already sent a message. The problem is they already sent off a message before I shut things down. The problem is The problem is they had already sent off a message before I shut things down. We need to deal with the immediate threat. We need to board them. Board. Okay, we need to board the other ship and eliminate their crew so we can be gone before anyone else arrives. Let's go back through that. Amelia seemed to have came up. Let's read that. Amelia seemed to have. Okay, that's right. Came up with a plan already. I watched her gathering up weapons from the dead troops. She handed them out, marshaling the remaining crew and making sure everyone was armed. Mia asked, "What are we going to do?" "When they detach from our ship, they're going to destroy us." Amelia replied, "I've locked them out of their ship's controls. The problem is they had already sent a message before I shut things down. We need to deal with the immediate threat. We need to board the other ship." Their ship? Yeah. Ooh, sorry about that. It's okay. We need to deal with the immediate threat. We need to board we need to board their ship and eliminate its crew, so we can be gone. Okay. Think we have it? We need to deal with the immediate threat. Oh, no, we need too many times. First, we have to board their ship and eliminate its crew. Then, we need to get out of here before anyone else arrives. See, that works better. Okay, so let's read through it again. The problem is, they had already sent off a message before I shut things down. We need to deal with the immediate threat first. Immediate threat. First, we have to board their ship and eliminate its crew. Then we need to get out of here before anyone else arrives. Here's the problem. I really thought I had her jacking into it before. 7 units, different controls, blah blah. Oh, see. Hold on. I gotta read through this. We might have a continuity error. That's a major thing to not catch at this point. Let's look through. Rory, okay. The rest of us made our way to the melee control panels. Okay, so here's the deal. We need to have some continuity between these two. So when Sam gets into the system here, back here, shit. I'm gonna have to write some shit down here, guys. I gotta have more detailed crap. I just found a massive issue in chapter 19 that we didn't go into enough. Oh, this is some kind of weird, not the kind of pin I would use at all. Hold on one second. I have a pencil right here. Okay. It's chapter 19. Okay, the issue with chapter 19 now becomes that Sam and Amelia both enter the computer systems and stuff like that. Amelia ices a bunch of the crew before I had time to say a word. Blah, blah. Sam, you need to shut down the ship's controls while I deal with the other ship. Okay, let's look at this. So here's the deal. So that you both go in, so it explains Amelia going in, right? And then they come out, but I don't explain Amelia killed most of the people on the other ship. So do you guys feel that Sam would have been aware of that? I mean this is a legit question. Let's move through this and let's see if we need to backnote something to chapter 19, even though we moved through it already, okay? Because I'm a little concerned that there needs to be. She dealt with a huge amount of their crew already by sicking the frickin' security robots on them and shutting down life support and stuff. Maybe we address that. Brandon, Oren, Rory, Mia, Kiara, and I formed up on Amelia. Blake and Toby still stood in shock, looking upon the dreadful sight of Sarah's tragic remains. I knew they would need to gather themselves if they were to have any chance of surviving. I don't like that. I knew they would need to gather themselves. Oh, no. Two. You guys feel that just pull your shit together? Okay. Then we'll comma that. And we know that ends at there. One, two. Okay. I'll probably fix this where they're in alphabetical crap. Maybe. I don't know. Okay. Blake and Toby still stood in shock, looking upon the dreadful sight of. Okay, this is where still stood in shock, comma, looking on the dreadful sight of Sarah's tragic remains. I knew they would have to pull their shit together if they were going to have any chance of surviving. Salvador still lay there dying, so I told Toby and Blake to take him to the medical bay. Okay, let me look over this. I want to make sure I didn't say hoping somewhere in here. Okay, we're going to fix this. Salvador lay dying. This microphone is right in the way of my typing sometimes. Oh, track's blown up. What am I talking about? Ooh, the word fray. Is it literally F-R-E-Y like that, fray? Or is that the right fray, guys? I don't know. Let me Google this. Google's so handy. Return to the fray of battle. Oh my god. Guys, I think we got it right. Yeah, okay, good. Awesome. That's exciting news. Sometimes things just happen like that. So, oh, we missed the L on him. Okay. Do we want to use the trope of battle? Okay. I think we know it's a then. No, let's leave the then. Jesus. Okay, then the rest of us made our way up to... Wait, we're going to combine these. One, two, boom. Then the rest of us made our way to the sealed doors of the docking corridor between the ships. Okay. Amelia moved to the control panel, saying they will have a team waiting for us in... Us? Do we want inside? Okay. Okay, some of the crew has already gotten suits on. Wait. Okay, they will have a team waiting for us. I turned off life support and shut them out of most of the systems of their systems. Some of the crew So, we already had her do that. See, we had her in there earlier. This is the continuity problem I was talking about right here, guys. See what the problem is? Yeah, we'll fix this. I I'm trying to figure it out right now. I think there is a figure it outer, but we get all the way here and we find a giant continuity. So let's just fix it in the wording in this paragraph. This is all we need to fix, really. Okay, back in 19, she's going to say something about she's going to kill as many as she can. Okay, let's see if we got this fixed and didn't just back destroy a chapter. Sam, you need to shut down the ship's controls while I deal with the other ship. I will shut down their life support and give the ship's security robots new directives. Hopefully that will cause chaos and kill as many of them as possible. Okay. I don't think we need the Sam part. She says Sam at the beginning. Sam, you need to shut down the ship's controls while I deal with the other ship. I will shut down their life support and give the ship's security robots new directives. Hopefully that will cause chaos and kill as many of them as possible. We need to strike now or we're all dead. Or we are all dead. Yep. Okay, we're good with that. Now we get here. Let's see where we are. Okay, then the rest of us made our way to the sealed doors of the docking corridor between the ships. Amelia moved to the control panel, saying, "They will have a team waiting for us." I turned off their life support. I turned off their life support and shut them out of most of their systems. Okay. Some of the crew had already gotten on suits. Okay, so we've already done this whole part. So we can get rid of all this. Hold on, I gotta drink some coffee to figure out how to deal with this. This doesn't seem right here. Amelia moved to the control panel, saying they will have a team waiting for us. I turned off their life support earlier. Sorry about that. Boom. And shut them out of most of the systems. Some of the crew had already gotten suits on, though. Do we want to be that tropey? Couple doesn't get used too much. Okay, let's think. What would we say? Okay, I think I have it. Amelia moved to the control panel, saying, they will have a team waiting for us. I turned off their life support earlier and shut them out of most of their systems. Some of the crew had already gotten suits on, though, and are waiting. This is going to be a fight to the death, so we need to come at them hard. Get ready. We readied ourselves for what would come. Oh, I don't like that at all either. Okay. We readied ourselves for the moment the doors would open and chaos would take over. Oh, I have moment in there too much. We readied ourselves for the doors to open and the chaos Okay, we readied ourselves for the doors to open and the chaos to take over the moment once more. I remembered the medical nanite injector I had taken earlier from the medical bay. Quickly, I injected it, hoping it would stem the pain, now shooting up my arm. I made sure I knew which pocket the remaining injector was in, then checked my weapon and prepared to board the corporate ship. Oh. And let's just call it the other ship, right? The other ship. Yeah, I agree. Okay. It took only seconds for Amelia to oh no, see she already did that earlier. Okay. I'm gonna have to get rid of that whole thing. We back continuity'd it. We don't even need this crap here. So much disaster here. We readied our positions, knowing the corporate soldiers in the corridor. Okay. We readied positions, knowing the corporate soldiers in the corridor were well armed and would be fighting for their lives. I'm trying to see if this makes sense. Who do we still have here? We have Orin. Okay, we needed to ready positions. Okay, we needed to ready positions, knowing the corporate soldiers in the corridor were well armed and would be fighting for their lives. It only took a few minutes for us to get enough containers and other items to create firing positions. Okay. It only took a few minutes for us to create crude firing positions. Using containers. Okay, it only took a few minutes for us to create crude firing positions using containers and other items, hoping it would provide us cover. As Amelia opened the doors, laser fire ripped through the air. We all had good positions, and the first volley of laser fire hit our defenses. That is when we opened up. Oren's plasma rifle was more effective than our lasers, and he managed to down two of the soldiers by himself during our opening barrage. Amelia was extremely accurate and managed to strike one with a lethal hit at the far end of the corridor. I managed to hit one in the shoulders, but he now had taken better cover and was still in the fight. Okay, I managed to hit one on the shoulder, wounding him. We'll just spell fix it. Okay. I hit one in the shoulder, wounding him, but he managed to get to cover and was still in the fight. The rest of the shots missed their targets, though, and now it was a free-for-all. Okay. For a brief time, it looked like we'd be able. For a brief time, it looked like we'd be unable to break their defenses as more soldiers came into the corridor to take positions, giving them an advantage in numbers. Corridor. Okay. Began to take positions. Sorry, guys. Let me fix this. As they began to take. Okay. For a brief time, it looked like we'd be unable to break their defense as more soldiers came into the corridor. As they began to take positions, it was clear they were gaining an advantage in numbers. Then Rory cast an acceleration and shield spell on Amelia. Let's double check that Rory's not the one that we said uses runes, or not runes. Acceleration, stupor, shield. Okay, she just casts spells. We know this, cat girl. Okay, boom. Then Rory cast an acceleration and shield spell on Amelia. With that, Amelia moved forward, firing at a blistering rate, while providing suppressive fire. While Amelia, sorry. Okay. Then Rory cast an acceleration and shield spell upon Amelia. With that, Amelia, do we want to combine that? With that, Amelia moved forward, firing at a blistering rate. We provided suppressive fire while Mia pushed forward to cast a spell. The spell worked to take down 6 of the soldiers who seemed to die a horrific death. Now, do we want to say that? Don't worry, we're gonna double check that we write down suffocate. Okay. Mia, where's Mia? We gotta find Mia's spells. Blah blah. Sigil magic. Okay. So now we go back, make sure we're continuity. While Mia pushed forward to cast a sigil spell. Okay, let's go back. Then Rory cast an acceleration and shield spell upon Amelia. With that, Amelia moved forward, firing at a blistering rate. We provided suppressive fire while Mia pushed forward to cast a sigil spell. As the sigil formed, it took down 6 of the soldiers, who seemed to suffocate as green gas escaped from their mouths and nose. Rory was hit in the abdomen and slumped back out of the corridor doorway to cover. Okay. The panic it created was enough though. As the soldiers saw what happened, they moved to retreat from the corridor as they left their defensive positions. Do you know what? I don't like that. The panic it created was enough, though. Okay, the panic it created was enough, though, as the soldiers saw what happened. I don't like this. Hold on one second, guys. I'm really trying to figure out what the heck. Okay, the soldiers. Okay, let's read this again. We provided suppressive fire while Mia pushed forward to cast a sigil spell. As the sigil formed, it took down. Let's give her even more soldiers. Let make it even a little bit more scary, right? 9 of them. 9 of the soldiers who seemed to suffocate as green gas escaped from their mouths and nose. Okay, let's add another thing. As the sigil formed, it took down 9 of the soldiers who seemed to suffocate as burning green gas escaped from their mouths and nose. Okay, that seems like we got it right here. As the sigil formed, it took down 9 of the soldiers who seemed to suffocate as burning green gas escaped from their mouths and nose. The gas trapped in their helmets melted their faces. Okay, that seems pretty powerful, deadly, right? The gases trapped in their helmets melted their faces as they gasped their last breaths. Gasped for their last breaths. They actually, yeah, boom, aren't getting it. Rory was hit in the abdomen and slumped back out of the corridor doorway to cover. The panic it created was enough, though. The soldiers' confidence was broken and they moved to retreat from the corridor. As they left their defensive positions, they became easy targets, allowing us to kill most of them in their retreat. Rory was wounded but still conscious, and now back on her feet. Wait, back on her feet to our surprise. Her bleeding seemed to have stopped as it became clear she was using some kind of magic to draw a life force from one of the wounded soldiers. Do we say that she can do that? Do we let that? Rory has. Let's write this. Rory also has. Rick. Vampiric. I don't really write. What we call that? Okay, vampiric healing spell. That's what we're gonna call that. We know that she has. Rory's gonna be in a later book, so we have to actually keep this tracked. Okay. Drawing life force from one of the wounded soldiers. We still needed to take the other ship now, though. We quickly. Wait, we still needed to take the other ship, though. I can get rid of this. I think we all know that we need to take the other ship, though. Boom. We quickly moved aboard the enemy ship through the corridors. We quickly moved through the enemy ships. Okay, we quickly moved through the enemy ship's corridors before Kiara sensed the soldiers forming up again, just around the corner where they had set up. Forming up again. Boom. They were just around the corner where they had set up, comma, where they had set up another defensive position. Okay, we would have to fight through them to make it to the bridge. Araya, Amelia, and I stacked up with a plan of making the first move. Ooh, this is horrible. Wait. We would have to fight through them to make it to the bridge. Oren, Amelia, and I stacked up with a plan of making the first move with a follow-on attack right behind us from Rory, Brandon, Mia, and Kiara. Okay, we would have to fight. Wait, we would have to fight through them to make it to the bridge. Orion, Milia, and I stacked up with a plan of us making the first move. Okay, stacked up. Okay. Okay. Oren, Amelia, and I stacked up. We would hit first, hopefully not getting killed, as we tried to move to positions. Rory, Brandon, Mia, and Kiara. Okay, Rory, Brandon, Mia, and Kiara would immediately would Okay, Rory, Brandon, Mia, Kiara, and Kiara would provide a follow-on attack. Uh, okay, we moved quickly, hoping to gain some advantage. But as soon as we came around the corner, they began firing. Oren's armor took some of the hits, and I managed to get off a shot, taking down one of the soldiers. Okay. I'm gonna change this. Watch this. Watch this. Amelia and I stacked up behind Oren, hoping Oren's armor would provide some protection. We would hit first, hopefully not getting killed, as we tried to move to positions. Rory, Brandon, Mia, and Kara would provide a follow-on attack. Okay. We moved quickly, hoping to gain some level of advantage, but as soon as we came around the corner, they began firing. Oren's armor took some of the hits. Oren's armor did take some of the hits. I managed to get off a shot. I managed to get a shot off taking down one of the soldiers, but I got hit once in the leg and once in my arm, which now was completely. We're going to expand this out. Okay. We moved quickly, hoping to gain some level of advantage, but as soon as we came around the corner, they began firing. Oren's armor did take some of the hits. In the exchange of fire, I managed to get a few shots off, taking down a couple of the soldiers before I was taken down. I was hit in the leg and once more in my wounded arm, which now was completely non functional. I had fell to the ground and I knew I would be dead in the open, so I crawled to get to cover. Then Brandon, Mia, Rory, and Kara came around the corner. Mia began to cast a spell as she was hit in the chest, dropping her to the ground. The fire back and forth lasted for several more seconds before we had taken the corridor. Mia seemed to be alive, but she was severely wounded. Okay. I managed to crawl to Mia and struggled to get the nano injector out, still dealing with the pain from being hit. Let me fix this. I finally was able to inject her, hoping to stabilize Mia and keep her alive. Let's fix this. I knew I wouldn't. I knew I would not be able to be. I knew I would not be much help with a ruined arm and a wounded leg, but we had made it to the bridge, to their bridge. I don't think we need the I knew. I would not be much help with a ruined arm and a wounded leg, but we had made it to their bridge. Okay. I'm okay with that. As Amelia, Oren, Kiara, and Rory, and Brandon, as Amelia, Oren, Kiara, Rory, and Brandon formed up on the door to the bridge. Okay, as Amelia, Oren, Kiara, Rory, and Brandon formed up on the bridge door, Blake and Toby arrived. It seemed we would have the advantage as soon as soon things would conclude. I watched as Amelia hacked the door, and as it opened, fire erupted. Okay. The amount of fire was far more intense than I had expected. Let's double check this. Within seconds, Brandon had been hit in the ribs and legs, dropping to the ground, and a burst from a plasma rifle ripped through Toby's striking. That is striking, yeah. Ripped through Toby, striking him several times, including once directly to his face. Toby was instantly lifeless, and Brandon was now wounded and grasping for breath. Gasping is what we're wanting. Okay. Toby was instantly lifeless, and Brandon was now wounded and gasping for breath. The fight only went on for a second or two more, and we had taken the bridge of the other ship, but at a huge cost. The fight only went on for a second or two more. They had taken the bridge of the other ship, but at a huge cost. Okay. With the fighting for the bridge now over, Blake, still gasping for air, noticed his younger brother, Toby's lifeless body. Do we have Blake hit up here or Brandon? Brandon's hit, right? Yeah, okay. Boom. Good. Lifeless body and went into complete emotional collapse. Amelia commanded Oren to get the wounded to the medical base, so Oren and Brandon isn't carrying nobody. Brandon's not carrying people. I got Brandon shot in the ribs. What the hell am I thinking? Who's not wounded that can help? Oren carried Blake back onto our ship to take him to the medical bay as Rory stood guard in case of an attack from the remaining ship's crew. In case of an attack from any remaining ship's crew. Kiara moved to me with a look of concern while helping to keep watch. Let's see, I don't like that. Okay. Kiara moved to me with a look of concern while helping to keep watch. Soon a couple of the ship's damaged security robots arrived from what looked to be hunting down the remaining crew to stand guard over Amelia. Oh, what the heck? 1, 2. As she worked to establish and take control over all the ship's systems. Oh, that is a comma, period. I think I need to fix some more things in here, guys. I'm going to just tell you, I'm going to write down a note. I'm going to fix something else in here probably tonight. And it's going to be that this section here, I need to deal with the wounded better, I believe. I'm going to clean this up. It's not going to probably be on stream because I'm going to have to think through it. Or maybe it is. Maybe tomorrow at the beginning we clean this up and then jump to 21. Amelia soon re-emerged from the bridge, telling Kiara and Rory to help Mia to the medical bay. Mia and Brandon to the medical bay of the newly acquired ship. She then walked over to me and lifted me up, helping me to my feet. The idea of relief from the pain was a reassuring one as I watched Kiara and Rory leave carrying Mia. As I watched Kiara and Rory leave, helping Mia and Brandon to the medical bay. As we made okay, reassuring one. As I watched, okay, Amelia soon reemerged from the bridge, telling Kiara and Rory to help Mia and Brandon to the medical bay of the newly acquired ship. She then walked over to me and lifted me up, helping to my feet. She then walked over to me, lifting me up, acting as a crutch. Okay. The idea of relief from the pain was a reassuring one. As I watched Kiara and Rory leave, helping Mia and Brandon to the medical bay. Amelia and I followed as she looked as if she was examining me with mixed intent. My leg was not working, but Amelia was shockingly strong. Oh, you know what? Now I gotta fix all kinds of crap, guys. Holy shit. Okay. So the idea of relief from the pain was a reassuring one. I watched as Kiara Rory left. I watched Kiara and Rory leave, helping. I watched as Kiara and Rory helped Mia and Brandon. How did Mia get hit again? Oh, I gave Mia an injector. Okay, hold on one second. I watched as Kiara and Rory helped Mia and Brandon to the medical bay. Well, that wouldn't happen. I watched Kiara and Rory help Mia and Brandon. Okay. Good morning. How you doing, Ronus? I'm sorry I wasn't paying attention to chat very well, and I apologize. I'm normally much better about it. Okay. Amelia stood over me, looking as if she was examining me with mixed intent. My leg was not working, but Amelia was shockingly strong and was able to lift me up and swing me over her shoulder with a single motion. I could now sense the unnatural nature within her, the nanites flowing through her, and what seemed to be other modifications, including a similar one to the AI implant. Within. Okay, so boom. That is the end of chapter 21. Or 20. I apologize. We have now fixed it. I will read back and make dang sure we fixed it, but I believe we have it fixed. Now, when this gets published, this really won't be chapter 21 because it's likely some of those chapters that were like really small that were together get combined or some crap. But we are closing in, and so we have like 8 chapters left to do. Then it goes to people that are going to tell me what all I did wrong, which, you know, is going to be a chunk of stuff. Then we fix that stuff. Then boom, poof, book published. And so this should be available on Barnes and Noble within like the next less than 20 days, you would think, right? And so let's cross fingers. 20 days from now or less, we have this going into publication. I mean, that's all I can say. I do want to thank you guys for hanging out this morning and dealing with all that with me. You guys are epic. I hope you enjoyed your coffee, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Peace and very best wishes.